Hello, this is my onion harvest. I harvested these onions the first week in September and it's now the first week in November. So these guys have been harvested 2 months. And what I want to talk about in this video, or shall I say discuss in this video, is storing onions. Now it's something I've never had to do for quite some time because I've never been that successful in growing onions. Not until this year when I had a bumper harvest of onions. The best return I've had for a long time. And judging by the amount of onions we eat per week at Homegrown Veg, I probably have enough onions in store now to last me through till next spring, early summer. So I'm going to need to store these onions through the remainder of autumn, through winter, through spring and into summer. And that's what I want to make the subject of this video. But before I do that, I'm going to cut back to just a very small clip of film of me harvesting the onions in the first week in September. Check this out and check out the onion harvest when I put them out on the lawn to admire my handiwork. These are big onions, Mop. I hope they store well. I can't believe this. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. All those onions came out of an area of raised bed, 4 foot by 4 foot. That was a 99 pence packet of seeds, probably half the packet sown. Having inspected the onions and cleaned them up a little bit, I'd built myself an onion drying rack outdoors, and that's where I intended to store the onions for a week or two, maybe even a month, weather depending. Check this out. I'm hoping to give these guys a week or two on this rack, maybe longer depending on the weather. Get them dried out as best I can outdoors and then we'll take them indoors. What I will do tomorrow, I'll come out and I'll tidy these guys up. I'll take all the soil out of the roots, it's always a good start, and I'll take off any loose skins. The problem was, after building the onion rack and loading the onion rack, it rained the very next day and showers were forecast all week. So there was no chance of me drying these onions out on this onion rack in autumn in the northwest of the United Kingdom. it wasn't going to happen. There was going to be too many showers. They would never dry out. So I built a rack indoors and moved the onions indoors into my garage. Check this out. After about 1 month, the green tops had withered away and I cut them off. The onions have now been stored in these blue crates in my garage for 2 months. I've had a look at how other people store onions to try and get a heads up on this, and basically there seems to be 2 or 3 criteria that come into play for storing onions. The temperature they're stored at, the humidity that they're stored at, and the need to store them in the dark rather than the light. And also the need for a regular inspection, so that if any of these onions are going bad, then they can be taken out and disposed of. The autumn-winter temperature in my garage ranges from about 8 degrees C to 15 degrees C. I think that's about 46 degrees Fahrenheit to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That's autumn, early winter, and if we have a mild winter. But if the winter is a harder winter, then clearly those temperatures will go down. There is no way I can affect those temperatures. They are what they are, and that's what these onions will be stored in. Humidity is a criteria in storing onions, but I have no idea what the humidity is in my garage. It is what it is, and I can't affect it. So we'll have to go with it. I will inspect the onions at 2 weekly intervals for any sign of deterioration, and if there is any deterioration, then I'll discard the onions. So far, I have not lost a single onion. Okay, so that's our onion harvest, and that's the onions I've got in store now. If there's any advice you can give me about storing onions, I would appreciate it, but bear in mind there are limitations to what I can actually do in terms of storing onions. The only place I can actually store these guys is in the garage, and the conditions in the garage are largely determined by the weather conditions outdoors. So if it's cold outdoors, it'll be cold in the garage. If it's warm outdoors, it'll be warm in the garage. So yeah, if there's any advice you can offer me, which will mean I can store these onions a bit longer, I would appreciate that. And I think what we'll do is we'll probably take a monthly check on these guys in terms of how many we've had to throw out, if any, and hopefully none. And yeah, let's see if we can get these through for spring, early summer of next year. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.